My name is Lauren Landry. I'm 16 years old, and I wanted to keep the stories alive of small town Gloucester and the businesses that may be gone but won't be forgotten. What you're about to see is a collection of footage that I have put together with a project that is very dear to my heart. So I interviewed Benjamin Leigh, who owned Leighs Market. Benjamin Leigh is my best friend's grandfather, and they are just the sweetest family. I was very excited about this opportunity to interview him and to get to know his story a little bit more.
There was a house up here that I would get the groceries together and drive up there, and I'd have to raise the window in the kitchen, crawl through the window, and put the groceries in the kitchen and put all the cold stuff in the refrigerator. That's the way things were done back then, The front entrance was right here, and this was all plate glass across the front here. And our cash registers were right in front. And my dad's meat department was all in the back, and my dad's meat department was the draw. That's why people came into our store, because we had the same canned goods as everybody else. It looks like such a small area now, you wouldn't think all that was going on there. Today, I still have people come up to me on the street and tell me what a wonderful time they had there and how much they love my father, which it's really nice. Okay. Are we ready?
Tell me a little bit about how Leighs Market was established.
It was my father, basically. My father had built up a reputation as being a good butcher and being able to get things that people want and to have a fair price. Dad had an awful lot of people that were loyal to him, and wherever Dad went to work, they would come with him. So when he had a chance to buy the business, all those people came with him, and they were from very rich to very poor, and it was exciting. Sometimes we'd have Bentleys and Rolls Royces out in front of the store, and it was really unique to see everybody being able to, in that little store, to be able to connect with each other, and it was neat. It was right on Main Street, right across the street from the back of Gloucester. I was away at school when they purchased the store, so when I came home from college, I went to work with them there. Yeah, my parents and I ran the store basically. We'd use help occasionally. During the summer, we would hire teenagers to help us bag groceries and stock and all that sort of stuff. My grandmother would even come and help stock the store. We get the freight truck would come in Wednesday afternoons late, and so from 6 o'clock on, we would have to restock the whole store. This painting was done by a local artist. Her last name is Ray, and she's over in Matthews, and she did this painting of my dad on Wednesday afternoon when we unloaded the truck. It looks just like my dad. We had prints made of this, and we gave them to real close friends of my dad. It was nice to see that people would even come by and help sometime, And another thing in a community, a small community, when one business is having a hard time of something, another business, even their competition, will send people to help each other, and that means a lot in a small community, Being in a small town, you got to remember that you make your living from the people in town. So you need to pay back. You join civic clubs and things like that, and you look out for people that need your help. Sometimes you would, in our case, we would feed people that we had no idea that they'd ever be able to pay us back. But it's all part of being in business in a community, and we've lost that.
I know you mentioned previously that this was very much a family-oriented business. So who exactly in your family was involved?
I was my mother, my father, and myself, because I was an only child. So that was it. We had to depend on each other. And it's difficult to be together, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, every day, you know, except Sunday. We didn't open on Sunday. You had to learn to get along with each other too, as well as the customer. And you have to remember that when that customer comes in the front door, you have to give them your very best. No matter how bad things are, you have to give them a smile. You know, and you have to treat them like they're the only customer in the store. We got there a little before 8, and we would have to prepare the store. We'd have to freshen everything up, particularly the produce. You have to keep that looking nice, because that's the first thing they see when you come in the store. So it's kind of, you know, it sets the tone for the rest of your store. And so that's the big thing. And keep things clean. Keep the floors washed, and, you know, and keep everything clean. And like I said before, have a smile on your face. And, you know, it was neat seeing how people would brighten up. We had children. We had the body type school is just up the street from them, and classes would come down to go to the fire department, and so they could see all the fire trucks and stuff, first graders and second graders. And they would come into the store, and each one of the kids could come by the candy rack and pick up a piece of candy on the way out. I still have people telling me when they came through one of those school groups how much it meant to them to be able to do that.
What, in your words, made the store special, or the experience special for the customers?
That's my dad. Yeah. He was the draw. People came to him, and no matter what they want, he would be able to find it for them. We had a lot of rich families that some of them we never saw at all. They would have the chef or the butler or one of those come in and do all the shopping, and they would call and order everything. So we're gonna have a party this weekend, we need this, this, and this, and Dad would make sure that it was done when he got there. And we handled a little higher grade of things, particularly our beef. Our wholesaler was in Baltimore, and they had a special room there that they would hang my father's beef in, and other merchants too, for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, and they would age the meat before it ever came to us. And it made a huge difference in how tender it was, and so they don't do that anymore. And it used to come in hindquarters, which was a hindquarter beef would weigh 180 pounds, give or take, and the front quarter weighed 225 pounds. And even when I was small, when I was 11 or 12 years old, my dad taught me how to pick those up. So I probably didn't weigh 100 pounds, and I could go in the cooler and pick up one of those hindquarters and bring it out and put it on the butcher block. At Christmas time in particular, our fruit and vegetables were just so pretty compared to everybody else's. I mean, they were just, it's unbelievable what we'd have. And we sold a lot of produce during Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff because the quality was high. When Carter was in office and we had that recession, we had the oil embargo came on. We were only allowed to be open 40 hours a week.
Oh.
And that was like a vacation to us, you know. But things changed a lot after that. People changed the way they bought and what they purchased. 40% of our business was probably in imported goods, and we lost all of that. That just went away altogether, and so we had to adapt and change and do different things.
This is kind of a fun question, but what are your thoughts on shopping nowadays with the self-checkout and online shopping and all that?
Yeah, I worry about employees. Usually when something goes wrong with a business, usually the ones that can least afford it are the ones that take the blunt of the situation. With a business closing, it's not going to hurt the people that own the stock in them in particular, you know, but the guy that's trying to raise his family, or the woman, I shouldn't just say guys, But you know, they can get, you know, it can hurt them an awful lot. These recessions, this last recession in '07, it put a lot of people out of work that did absolutely nothing wrong. And the people that are in their 50s, 40s, and 50s, they lost their job. Their whole life is based on that job. How much they're paying on their mortgage, what kind of house they have, whether their children are going to college, what kind of cars they have, all these things. And if they lose their job, more than likely they're going to lose all that.
So if you're comfortable with sharing this, when and why did the store close?
Oh, lots of things. Most small businesses go out of business because there's a larger company that comes in and they can underprice them. And I was thinking about this the other day after we talked. And a wholesaler, what happens is that we were with this particular wholesaler for 25 years. And then some of the bigger chains got or ordered from the same place. And what they did was they forced the wholesalers to let us go. So we couldn't buy at the same price that they were buying. We had to pay more for it. And you can't last long like that. Right. It's just, you know, it's hurtful when they do that. But it's all, and people get complacent. You know, if you walk into the business every day for like with 28 years and things start to go down a little bit, you don't notice it. You know, you need to look at it with fresh eyes and keep up with the trends and keep everything fresh and new. And that's hard to do when you get older. When we first got married, we owned a little house not far from the store. So after our first one was born, my wife could put the baby in the stroller and come up to the store, and we'd put the infant seat on the counter so she could talk to all the customers when they went through it. That was nice. We could I think our customers enjoyed our children. They watched them grow up.